confidence as the Spanish champions begin their quest for the UEFA Champions League. Good evening from the Mestalla on a damp, humid Tuesday night, and it's here that Valencia and Liverpool get their respective UEFA Champions League campaigns underway. This is Group B, a section that also contains FC Basel of Switzerland and the Russians of Spartak Moscow. Hello from me, Derek Ray. Seamus Mallon joins me for commentary here on ESPN. Seamus, you've got to go back 36 years for the last time Valencia lost at home to an English club side.
And almost 20 years the last time that Liverpool won an away match in Spain. So Valencia, although they don't have the storied history that Liverpool has, they really have the better record in the newly formatted Champions League.
We'll keep an eye out for the other game in this group, FC Basel at home to Spartak Moscow. Now, celebrations galore here in Valencia last season. The home side winning the championship for the first time in 31 years.
Well, it was a tremendous triumph for them, and they won it handsomely by about 7 points. Only the second time in 50 years, Derek, that neither Real Madrid nor Barcelona featured in the top two.
It hurt them badly not being in this competition last time around. They had to settle for UEFA Cup participation. They got to the quarter-final stage before being eliminated by Inter. Valencia's opponents tonight, Liverpool, managed by Gérard Houllier, second in the Premiership last season. They were criticised for their negative performances away from home in this competition last term.
And I think correctly criticised for that. They promised much better things here. You see their storied history, 13 appearances. Of course, that encompasses also the old European Cup Championship, which they won 3 times. But they were fairly hammered by Bayer Leverkusen, really, in the quarterfinals last season, and they are determined this year to come out and play a more attractive attacking style away from home.
That's what Gérard Houllier has been talking about in the build-up to this match. Valencia against Liverpool, match day 1 in the UEFA Champions League. You'll see it here on ESPN after this short break. It really has been a home fortress for Valencia in the UEFA Champions League. 16 matches played, 12 wins, 4 draws and 10 clean sheets. How will Liverpool deal with the bullring atmosphere of this ground? Well, we'll find out. These two teams know a little bit about one another.
Well, they had the 1998-99 matchup in which Liverpool got a 2-2 draw here. That was the last time they had that kind of success, if you will call it that. They're vastly different sides now, different management, different players. And Valencia have done reasonably well against English clubs, at home especially, where they had really allowed no goals against Man U, Leeds or Arsenal at home in their last 3 matches.
And that makes for very impressive reading. Well, let's bring you the team news right away. I can tell you that for Valencia, John Carew is rewarded for scoring twice in a 3-0 win over Huelva at the weekend. He's preferred to Salva up front. In all, Rafa Benitez makes 5 changes, recalling Curo Torres, Pellegrino, Rufete and Aymar.
Well, most revealing to me here is the matchup of Ayala and Pellegrino together in the back 4 there. That's a partnership that works very, very well together. They are bringing along Marchena, the young player, but I'm afraid they want to, I think, wisely decide on experience at the back.
For Liverpool, Stéphane Anchaud, the Swiss international, has failed a late fitness test, so Salih Diao keeps his place at the back. But the shock news concerns Michael Owen, rested at the weekend in a 3-2 win over Bolton and left on the bench tonight.
Well, that really is quite remarkable. The question is Heskey going to play up front with Diouf, or will he drop into a 4-5-1 formation that Liverpool has favoured on the road in the past, and that has been the subject of so much criticism as it's quite negative. But that is stunning news about Michael Owen, because I don't think it's an injury issue, it's a coach's decision issue.
Well, we have a chance. Let's have a quick look at who is on the bench. In Valencia, Salva, as we said, left out. Juan Sanchez, Marchena, the promising young defender, and for Liverpool, number 10, Michael Owen, on the substitutes bench. The referee is Germany's Herbert Fandl. So rather damp night here at the Mestalla Stadium. Chance that it might rain again before the evening is over. Vicente, still only 20, scored the opening goal at the weekend for a 3-0 win over Huelva, newcomers to the Spanish First Division. Jamie Carragher will be at right fullback for Liverpool. This is his 36th appearance in European club competition. He's waiting for the final signals. Coordination between Herbert Vandel, the referee, and Thorsten Kinhofer, the fourth official, to make sure that the timing is absolutely spot on. Well, Liverpool's last victory here in Spain came 19 years ago. It was a 1-0 triumph away to Athletic Bilbao. That's their second visit to the Mestalla Stadium. They drew 2-2 here. As we said, back in the 98-99 season, they can expect to be under the collar these early exchanges. Corner kick is conceded.
Well, no question about the speedy attack by Valencia.
Here it comes. Baraja was up inside the area. Ruben Baraja, the central midfielder for Valencia. This is Vicente. Willy Gonzalez, who very often plays wide on the left for Valencia, is ruled out tonight because of suspension. I don't think it's any great problem for Valencia, though, to have Vicente in that role.
Not at all. In fact, he's very much sort of being groomed to take over that position. And Willy Gonzalez, in fact, there were rumours of him being unloaded in the off-season. It just didn't happen this summer.
Put away by Carragher. So with Stéphane Anchaud unavailable, it's a case of Giao and Huppier in the centre of the Liverpool defence. There's Amedeo Carboni, the Italian left-back, with the throw for Valencia. And to find the head of John Carew, Norwegian international striker. With his confidence, a power of good to score twice at the weekend.
Yep, twice as many goals as he scored all last season. But the one single tally in last season, a disappointing year for him.
And support play from Rufete on the right. No change out of the Liverpool defence. John Arne-Riise, the long throw. Trying to find Emil Heskey. Heskey it was who netted the winner for Liverpool on Saturday. 3-2 triumph at Bolton.
Yeah, and a match in which the back duo of Huppier and Giao had really some struggles coordinating their play. They were found wanting a number of times. And for about the fourth match in a row, Derek, Liverpool gave away some goals that they were quite unhappy about.
Well, the game's still very much at the sparring stage. Valencia against Liverpool in the UEFA Champions League. Got the game going on in this section tonight, as in Switzerland, FC Basel against Spartak Moscow. Rafa Benitez, 42-year-old coach of Valencia, guided them to the championship last season, only the fifth in the club's history. As Vicente goes to ground, free kick.
And not to very much acclaim either, as we take another look at the foul here. Benitez really not given a huge amount of credit for that by the fans, who really loved Mr. Cooper, who's gone on to Italy.
Vicente hovering over this free kick for Valencia. Carew makes the late run, he switches it instead into Rufete. And just too much on that weighted pass. Vicente had no real prospect of getting to it. Early thoughts, Seamus, on the pattern of play here.
Well, I'm really quite surprised at the pace and directness of the Valencia play. They're very definitely not stroking this ball about in midfield. They're going right at Liverpool to catch him on the back foot. I think there is a genuine feeling now about that there's some shakiness in the back for Liverpool. They've given up 2 goals in each of their last 4 Premiership matches, and there's a sense that they're a bit soft there. So, home team going right at them.
The neutrals will hope that we don't see a repeat of the suffocating defensive displays that earned 0-0 draws for Liverpool in places such as Dortmund, Rome and Barcelona last season in this competition. Steven Gerrard looking for Jimmy Traoré, the French left-back. And And the ball had crossed the touchline despite the best efforts of Traore. Kuru Torres. Man who anchors the Valencia defence is Ayala. Beside him Pellegrino, the two Argentinians together. This is Ayala. Long searching ball. Carew and Traore. Don't think it is to Liverpool. Jerzy Dudek. Position, the Polish international. But it really is an intimidating venue, this, the Mestalla in Valencia. Crowd of around 49,000 here tonight for this opening Champions League tussle in Group B. Barajas there, safety first.
Well, it is encouraging to see that Heskey and Diouf are looking like they're playing twin strikers up front, Derek. So he's not gone with 4-5-1. He is playing with two people. Here you see Diouf coming to put a little bit of pressure on Pellegrino and now Ayala. But that's a good commitment from Monsieur Houllier.
Fete continued his run. There goes Liverpool's way, however. Losing only 2 of the 14 Champions League matches last season. Costly one, of course, was in Leverkusen. Decisive quarter-final match.
And they had 8 clean sheets in those matches, too. They were just very difficult to break down defensively. Not particularly attractive, as you say, away from home.
Kuru Torres did wonderfully well last season. Joined Valencia from Tenerife. And Carew spinning and turning. And down he goes inside the box, but the free kick will go to Liverpool.
Well, we saw Carew, Derek, make a wide run a couple of moments ago, but this aspect of his play is also very good, where he faces up, puts his back to goal, and you can play the ball into him. Here it's thrown into him, but look, he's a very difficult customer to get at. It really requires 2 people, and you see he did manage to spin Hupia around and face goal, and that's a very useful piece of athletic ability in front of goal.
So early encouragements for Valencia. El Hadji Diouf taken out by David Albelda. Diouf, who had such a big part to play for Senegal at the World Cup finals.
Well, Albelda missed the ball, but then he took a second swipe after he saw Diouf pulling away. I am disappointed the yellow card didn't come out there, because it was not a late tackle or mistimed. He missed the tackle and then he took a second swing. Should have been a yellow card.
And then Diouf's available into the penalty area. Heskey's there as well. It's Danny Murphy with the free kick. Murphy, Liverpool's top scorer so far this season with 3. Here he is at the second time of asking, and that is meat and drink. As far as Santiago Canizares is concerned.
You could argue his first effort was a little better. Just held up and did nothing. But Danny Murphy can also be known to take a whack on goal from that position. Liverpool is coming out to play here. This is good to see.
Reserve as the man dispossessed. Ayala strokes it back to Canizares. Valencia opened their Spanish league account rather well, winning both games without conceding a goal. 2-0 win away to Mallorca and 3-0 at home to Huelva.
Yeah, unbeaten in the league, as are Liverpool, although they've given away, as I said, 8 goals. They've also had some draws, but they've been shipping goals of late, unlike Valencia, which has scored 5 and conceded none in La Liga.
Carboni with the throw. Liverpool again depending here on the formidable central midfield alliance of Hamann and Gerrard. So well together. It's good work by Emil Heskey. Chance for Liverpool to get forward. Risa has made the run out on the left. Nothing there for Diouf. Now they have to pay attention at the back. Carew keeps it in. Followed by Giao, and right across the face of the goal. Well, was a close-run thing. Liverpool defenders were scrambling back. But it comes again. And the Liverpool defence can breathe a big sigh of relief. It was an awkward ball played in by John Carew.
Yeah. Well, it all came from a loss of possession by Juth, by the way. And
Aymar made the late run into the box, trying to get in on the end of that cross by John Carew.
But Juth turning around and complaining to the referee, and I've seen him play a lot of matches already for Liverpool, Derek, and he really has got to get into the flow of European football at the highest level a bit better. He tends to complain a lot or look for fouls when they're not being given. He's got to get up and play a bit.
Tussle again, which Carew wins. Aymar, Rufetti's crying out for the ball. Here's Rufetti. Oh, it wasn't a bad one at all. Giao to the rescue for Liverpool.
It's a great ball to Pablo Aymar. He just needed a few more inches there for a flashing header. Great stuff from Valencia.
Superb pressure here from the home side. Well, the Liverpool defenders, I think, were hoping for the offside flag. It wasn't raised.
Well, if that player was passive in front of the goal, then we really got to rethink this whole active-passive business. Very definitely offside.
These are testing times for Liverpool, being put to the sword of the early going by Valencia, but it's 0-0, 10 minutes on the clock. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of the UEFA Champions League here on ESPN. Pellegrino. This is his 43rd appearance in European club competition. Carew most definitely has a spring in his step. Little battle with Houpier.
I think this is Pablo Aymar with the flashing header there coming through. Yes, it was. Just didn't have the height he needed to be able to hurl his body at it. It's a great little effort, though. Very attractive play. And so far, Liverpool really has been losing the battle in the middle of the park, which is where so much of their strength is that you mentioned, Derek. Murphy, Hamann, Gerrard.
Canizares happy to gobble that one up. Valencia's first ever English opponents were Nottingham Forest. That was way back in 1961 in the old Fairs Cup. Valencia beat them 7-3 on aggregate and actually went on to win that tournament that particular year. Traore. Hamann in his favourite position just in front of the back four. No chance for Risa to get to the ball. Just a reminder about Sports Centre coming up tonight here on ESPN. Able to catch up with all the top sports stories from around the world. Plenty of Champions League highlights to boot. Check your local listings for the times where you live. It's a good lively start here from Valencia. Rufetti. And rather wayward from Baraja. Rufetti couldn't quite get there. Gets through a power of work, this man, Ruben Baraja, the former Atletico Madrid player.
He certainly does. He's really come on very, very strong as the player who likes to play off Pablo Aymar, both for club and country, as was the case, unfortunately, sorry, not for country, but just for club. Aymar, of course, with Argentina. But Baraja has seen a lot for Spain of late, and looks like he's fitting in there. Take a look at Houllier is just out of the view there.
Well, standing up for a second, Gerard Houllier, the Liverpool coaching staff around him. Nil-nil here at the Mestalla. I'll tell you about a goal, though. In Group D, Ajax have taken the lead against Olympique Lyon. 1-0 there. Valencia trying to get players forward. Aymar, the link man in midfield, safely through to Jerzy Dudek.
Well, it's certainly a good start for Ajax, isn't it? The first goal of the Champions League in this format now, in this round. And Olympique Lyon with big hopes this year after such a dramatic win of the French Championship in the last match of the season last season.
Thompson, assistant manager for Liverpool, spent several months at the helm last season while Gerard Houllier was recovering from heart surgery. Thankfully, Gerard Houllier has made a full recovery. Aymar, his progress was impeded by Salif Diao, the Senegalese international.
May have had a bit of a tug at him there as he went by him, but Diao does tend to get sucked out and overcommitted, and Sami Hyypiä has really got to help him with his positioning. Diao also has played a lot of midfield. He's not by nature, I think, if you will, an experienced centre-back. He's a bit more of a defensive midfielder.
Described by one or two people when he was signed by Liverpool as a Patrick Vieira clone, Diao, in terms of the way he goes about his business and the position he normally plays. So much going through Vicente, has Carragher for company. Diao again, corner to Valencia.
It looked a bit untidy, but it was safety first for Diao. So he was under pressure from Vicente with that surging left-sided run.
Pellegrino has made his way forward, as has Ayala. Delivery from Vicente. Albelda's there. Vicente. Valencia happy to keep the ball on the ground. Rufetti. Liverpool have been forced to take up deep positions here. Camped back inside their own half for long spells. Offside flag was up that time.
There really hasn't been an awful lot of cohesive attacking play through midfield by Liverpool. And I think a little bit of a verbal warning by the referee here to Dudek, obviously, for taking his sweet time. And it's only 17 minutes into the game. But I don't think Liverpool will come here to play for a 0-0 draw. That's certainly not the style in which they've approached the game. But here's the problem right here. Okay, there's a good tackle by Hamann.
And now we watch Aymar. Real jack in the box. And again, a forceful challenge. And the Valencia supporters not very happy with the treatment that's being meted out.
That was Heskey, I think, who came back on that one.
Aymar has been the victim of a couple of lusty challenges. The shot comes in from Ruben Baraja, took a slight deflection, and it's another Valencia corner.
Well, Valencia has no hesitation to go right down the heart of this defence, do they? They really feel they can take on the back players, Hyypiä and Diao. So en show at the moment, a bit of a missed player at the back for Liverpool.
It's Vicente's corner, and the header not spilling wide. Real problems for Jerzy Dudek. Carew is the man who got his head to the ball in the end. So much height at these set pieces for Valencia.
Yeah, inside run too by Ayala. I think it distracted some people, but got to be able to find a guy like Carew is pretty hard to miss. But so far Murphy and Gerrard really haven't had a kick. Yet they've had very little influence in this game, as Liverpool struggle to get some kind of coherence out of their midfield play when they have the ball.
Carew not to get back. Aymar's there. And switch play again. Rufetti. And to loop it in, and Sami Hyypiä, well, didn't have really much of an alternative that time.
Good positional play by Sami Hyypiä, though, to be in the right spot after a very dangerous ball played over the top. They are getting behind Traore a little bit.
Rufetti taking on Risa and beating him. Luckily for Liverpool, Traore was there to cover. This was clever play.
Yeah, clever play. Set up a well done, well defended by Traore in the end.
Traore and Risa together again. Kuro Torres behind that move, and Aymar's in for Valencia. 1-0. The man they call the Little Rabbit steers it past Yazi Dudek. Valencia have given Liverpool a torrid time of it, and they deserve their one-goal advantage after 20 minutes.
Well, this was brilliant stuff. Wonderful quick touch passing, absolutely spellbinding the Liverpool defence. This is Albelda's touch. Aymar back to Albelda, and there's a lovely ball played out wide, and Aymar picks out the far post. That was great stuff. Really lovely interpassing. The key pass in the end there, I think, coming from Vicente, and a beautifully timed run at the back and a very authoritative finish. Nice and calm, passed into the far corner. No chance for Dudek. 1-0 to the home side.
It's Aymar's third goal in European club competition. He took it so coolly, and Valencia off and running. As you said, Seamus, Liverpool have found it challenging, really, just getting into the Valencia half of the field in the early stages.
Yes, they really have, and they've just not had much possession to speak of. It must be about a 60-40 possession edge. They've not held the ball well, and so they, when they lose it, they have a tremendously difficult time getting it back. There's not the closing down of players in the middle of the park that you must do against the likes of Baraja, Vicente, Rufete. You've got to stop them playing, but it hasn't happened yet. They look quite lead-footed in midfield, Liverpool.
However, a long way to go. Pellegrino at the back, beside him Roberto Ayala. This is Kuro Torres. Played a part in the creation of that goal scored by Aymar. Baraja. Looking for Albelda. Oh, he did wonderfully well to thwart the efforts of Danny Murphy, and Hamann with another crunching challenge on Aymar, and the referee Herbert Bandel from Germany runs out of patience and books his fellow countryman.
Well, I don't know if this is a yellow card. Let's take a look here. Does he reach back for him? I think Hamar took a dive here. That was a spin away. Yes, there was some contact, but it wasn't very physical, really. I think the referee was fooled a little bit by the piece of theatrics by the goal scorer. Definitely Hamann, not Gerrard.
1-0 to Valencia. As the score, who just joined us here on ESPN. Goal by Pablo Aymar in the 20th minute. Risa. And the offside flag was up. Both Heskey and Diouf making the run together. A well-taken goal, this.
It is, but you have to ask about questions about defence. How can a player the calibre of Pablo Aymar be allowed to go through like that in the penalty area? Nobody tracking him down. It's really fundamentally flawed defending.
Midway through the first half. Match day 1 in the UEFA Champions League. Hamann, as we said, was the player booked.
Well, a close look at that goal, Derek, shows us that Baraja was the player who made the final killing pass. We talked about him a moment ago as a player who loves to play behind Pablo Aymar. They work very well together. But Pablo Aymar was just criminally unmarked as he walked through there and tucked it away beautifully.
Valencia playing champagne football, offering 23 minutes. Off the field, though, it's been a sad story of debt and financial skullduggery. In fact, the mood in the camp ahead of the season wasn't terribly good. Some of the players gunning, it seemed, for Rafa Benitez. He had the odds run in with a few players as well. And the president, Jaime Orti, is a very popular man as things stand. And things might change with a few good results in the Champions League to begin the campaign. They're leading Liverpool 1-0.
Jamie Carragher leading with a dangerous foot high there. And the crowd immediately protests. You see there, he stabs away at it in front of Vicente.
This is Ruffetti.
Liverpool chasing the game, aren't they?
Aymar. Such a difficult man to dispossess. He seems to almost stick to his boot like glue. Diouf. Having a few problems just getting accustomed to the pace of the game, it seems. El-Hadji Diouf. Kuro Torres with the throw for Valencia. And that was relatively easy in the end. Emil Heskey. Valencia have the ball back. Belda. Xiao again was scrambling. Baraja. Ruffetti. There's the overlap from Kuro Torres. It's not a bad cross, is it? And Carew almost picked up the scraps. Durex there to field it. Vicente it was who nodded it into the path of John Carew. Could easily have been 2-0.
It's a long cross. Look at it. It comes from almost the far touchline. And coming there rather late was Jamie Carragher. And so luckily the rebound did not cause any problems. But in that attack, as it was building up, Derek, you could see the four midfielders from Liverpool withdrawing into their own half. They're really defending far too deep in their own half. They've got to go out and try to stop the play earlier. And having begun rather brightly, Liverpool have sort of gone into a defensive shell.
But now Diouf, so attack might be on. Steven Gerrard. Risa providing width. Gerrard. Nothing there for Liverpool. This was the cross by Kuro Torres.
It's a beautiful cross, wasn't it? Carragher has to defend the near post, or his post rather, but then it allows some space for Vicente to run onto it. Lovely driven ball by Kuro Torres.
Diouf. Risa. Canizares not encountering any difficulties. So wide he goes out for a throw beside the corner flag. Risa did have the overlapping option that time. Traore was making the run. Well,
there's been very little play in the penalty area by Liverpool at the other end. These are some questions about who's in the park at the moment. Michael Owen on the bench. Okay, maybe he's a little bit out of form. But I'll tell you, one player who is in form is Milan Baros. Scored two great goals against Bolton.
Well, Liverpool have managed to carve out a corner. John Risa goes across to take it. Trouble here for Carboni. Close shave.
He's had little to do though, Carboni, in the first 28 minutes of this match.
Xiao's up. Risa takes the corner. Canizares plucking it out of the night sky. Aymar. Albelda. Vicente. Carew has drifted out to the left wing. Just a reminder, we'll have more Champions League action for you tonight. We're watching in Latin America. Rosenborg against Inter from the Lerkendal Stadium in Trondheim, and that's later on today for those of you watching down under. As always, check your local listings. Feast of Champions League action for you this week here on ESPN. Carragher taking time to organise his defensive colleagues. Hamann. Carragher. Struggling to make much headway, Seamus, Liverpool.
That looked like a third division clearance out of the back there by Jamie Carragher, a player who's been in the England national side, although he missed the World Cup because of injury. But we've gone almost 30 minutes yet, and I cannot recall a Liverpool shot on goal, or even a shot to speak of.
It's been rather an unimaginative showing from Liverpool in the opening half an hour. You were talking earlier about the possession percentages, Seamus. We're told that 65% to 35% in Valencia's favour.
Wow. Well, Liverpool is a side that has the capacity to possess, but they got to get the ball first, so they've done a very poor job in trying to put pressure on the home side.
Rufetti for Valencia. So 30 minutes on the clock, and Valencia very much in control here. Pablo Aimar with the goal that separates the sides. In the 20th minute, Seamus Marlon joining me, Derek Ray, for commentary. Hope you're enjoying our coverage wherever you're watching. And Heskey makes the run, he gets the break of the ball. Heskey! Well, the angle was very acute. Heskey almost steered it home. He had Diouf making the run into the centre, but out of nothing, a chance for Liverpool that they failed to put away.
Well, the bounce of the ball beats a defender here. It's a difficult ball for him to reach. He does well to pull the ball away from the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper doesn't take him down. Now hits the near post and then squibs across the field. Or did he hit the far post too? I thought he hit the near post first and then just sort of squibbed across the goal. Unbelievable chance there, out of nothing.
Certainly hit the near post, didn't it?
Let's take a look here. There's the shot. That's the post, yeah. Oh, so unlucky. He did so well to get around Canizares. But as you said, Diouf was in a good position there, away from defenders for an easy tap in, and Heskey couldn't spot him.
But that will serve as a warning to Canizares and the Valencia defence. They've had things their own way for the opening 31 minutes. But now Liverpool concede a free kick. And that certainly won't trouble Jerzy Dudek. Liverpool have managed 8 victories on Spanish soil in the past, 18 previous visits, 6 draws and 4 defeats. And the referee taking exception to that rugged piece of play from Heskey.
Well, you've got the ball here. Let's take a look. Slides there. Well, the player coming in for Valencia did jump out of the way to save his legs.
Occasionally hot-headed Danny Murphy having a word or two with Herbert van der, German referee, or perhaps more accurately the other way around. Torres back to Canizares. No pressure from the Liverpool front pair of Heskey and Diouf. Carragher. This is Kuro Torres for Valencia. It's on by Rufetti. Chased from Aimar. Pablo Aimar rested at the weekend. Didn't take part in the 3-0 win over Recreativo Huelva. Rafa Benitez anxious to keep him in reserve for this opening Champions League fixture. Aimar again, his goal divides the teams. Oh, wonderful play. Rufetti on the right. Skinning Traore, and Aymar's in again. He was off balance. Well, he goes down. Looking at the referee, Herbert van der waving play on, but that was sublime play by Pablo Aimar.
Oh, he's absolutely wonderful. His runs are so darting and quick and so well timed. He did get the shot on goal, so I don't know how he could be claiming there was a penalty, but we'll take a look when we see the replay. This is a great little ball played in. There's his first touch, away from one defender. Now let's see him get away here. No, there's no touch. He just slipped. Nothing there. Diouf just got away from it. Hupia likewise pulled back.
Well, I can tell you that Rufetti has gone to ground just as we watch the replay again. And Traore is going to be in a bit of trouble here. Jimmy Traore, the 22-year-old Frenchman. And a yellow card handed out. Here's why.
Whoa. Very ill-tempered, ill-chosen, silly tackle. He's got a second defender out there to help him. The ball is on the touchline. What's to be gained by selling yourself like that? He turned a 2v2 into a 2v1 because he sold himself. That's just fundamentally wrong to do as a defender. You just do not do that. And ends up with a yellow card to boot.
It's the second Liverpool booking of the night so far. Didi Hamann was cautioned earlier. And well, the stretcher is there. Rupete is going to require a bit of treatment. Miguel Angel Angulo warming up. Arturo Torres with the Valencia free kick. Rupete is back on his feet. So watch Albelda. Fente and Carragher has had his hands full. Rupete, albeit a bit gingerly, limps back out onto the park.
Well, that's good to see. I've been impressed by his play down the right side. It's been fun to watch. Had a very good year last year, 5 goals, his best ever. Very versatile midfield player.
And Carew there, with his back to goal. Fente wriggling for space. David Albelda. Shot was always drifting wide.
I think it went out for a throw-in, actually. Yes.
That's how wide it was. This is Arturo Torres. Heskey's challenge that time. Arturo Torres almost in the same position Rupete found himself in just a couple of minutes ago. Heskey pleading his case as Herbert Pandel has a quick look at Arturo Torres.
I don't think he stepped on his foot. Really, it was more Arturo Torres' problem than it was Heskey's, to be quite frank. But I must say, I don't like all this rolling about. I think there is an attempt to fool the referee here, but Heskey did nothing inappropriate there. He reached the ball, got it, and Arturo Torres just spilled over him.
Roberto Ayala for Valencia. Have the required accuracy. Traore with the throw. Goes Risa. Heskey. He joined us late. No Michael Owen in the starting 11 for Liverpool tonight. He is on the bench. Very good start to the Champions League campaign from Ajax. They now lead 2-0 against Olympique Lyon. Zlatan Ibrahimovic with his second goal. Into the first one after 11 minutes. So Ajax 2, Olympique Lyonnais 0. That's in Group D. This match in Group B. It's 1-0 to Valencia here. 0-0 in the other match being played in this section between Basel and Spartak Moscow. Arturo Torres, Juve was trying to put a bit of pressure on him. Well, Liverpool had the one chance that Heskey squandered, but it's been a rather punchless effort from them so far, Seamus.
It's been very uncohesive. They look very tentative. Look at this. Look at these shirts coming forward.
Wonderful play by Carew, and the shot comes in from Baraja. And that is Fiesta football from Valencia. Ruben Baraja with a thunderbolt of a shot. Carew was the provider, Baraja the finisher, and the Liverpool defence completely ripped to shreds.
Well, at this level, you cannot allow players like Baraja that much time, that much space, because they're going to punish you. It's just they're too professional. They're going to take these chances. You've got to close on him here. Nobody closes on him, and by the time he gets close to Hupia, he's got so much of the goal to see. You see Giao with a too late retreating run, but a player coming out of the middle of the field there like that, a simple layoff, and absolutely nobody tracking him down out of midfield. You know, they're talking about how the back four is a bit dodgy, but I think the defence in the middle of the field for Liverpool tonight has been absolutely non-existent. It's just been one-way traffic.
Well, the absence of Stéphane Henchoz, I think, is something that will be discussed at length in the press tomorrow. Liverpool have not been the same with this work in progress at the back, the Zhao-Houpier partnership, but quite frankly, they've really been outplayed in the opening 39.5 minutes. Outplayed, outthought and outfoxed. Now Risa's gone over to the far side to take the throw.
Well, there's no pace about the game either for Liverpool. It's very leaden-footed, it's very slow. It's just really very disappointing.
Houpier has gone forward. Zhao. And Canizares scampers off his line. Torres getting the better of Juve.
Well, you see all the red shirts there. They're in the park, but nobody's close to the player who got the simple knockdown. And it's one of the fundamental principles. Yes, you mark the player who's going to be the target for the long ball, but you must pick up the runners. And Baraja is well known as a player who supplies Aymar and supports Aymar. And he just took the Route 1 traffic lane that was opened up for him. And then his shot was all quality without question. But very, very mediocre defending by Liverpool.
Gerard Houllier spoke before the match about Liverpool throwing caution to the wind in these away fixtures, not trying to keep it tight, naturally trying to play attacking football. Now, in this particular case, the defensive side of the game has been suspect, and we've seen very little attacking, so not much for Liverpool to shout about. Traore. Risa. Traore trying to scoop it into the path of Gerrard, who's been very quiet. Torres. Canizares is there to tidy up. I should imagine, though, if you told the Valencia players you were leading Liverpool 2-0 at half-time before the game, they would have snatched your hands off for that. Now Risa, a long throw specialist. Juve and Heskey hovering inside the area. Can he find Heskey? Little flick on. Traore. This is Zhao. He saw a bit of shot pulling.
But a terrible reception by Danny Murphy too. I mean, that ball is simply played to his feet. He bangs it up in the air. Just looks terribly uncomfortable in his play. He's usually much more assured and confident about his play in the middle of the park.
Offside flag is up. Juve it was. Minutes left for play in the first half. Goals here by Aymar in the 20th minute, Baraja in the 39th, counting for Valencia's 2-0 advantage. Match day 1 in the Champions League. Risa. And Gerrard trying to get bowled over. And what will the referee do here?
Well, there certainly should be a free kick or a yellow card or something. Well, no card given there. Liverpool going to be unhappy about that because they've taken two themselves, Hamann and Traore.
For handball and the free kick finally given. Steven Gerrard. Still only 22 years of age, the England international. High floating ball, Heskey was there, jousting for it up against Pellegrino. And again, Heskey in conversation with the German referee Herbert Vandel. German official seems to have taken exception to the comportment of Heskey in this match. Well, good news for one of the other Spanish sides in the competition, the team who won the Champions League last season, Real Madrid, are 1 goal to the good away to AS Roma. Guti after 41 minutes. Roma 0, Real Madrid 1. But now this is more promising for Liverpool. It's Juve, he has Heskey and Risa supporting in the centre. Gerrard's there as well, Steven Gerrard. Well, it wasn't the ideal ball played across. And the chance goes a-begging. Rufetti. Inside the final minute of this first half, Carew. And Houpier is there to bar the door. Gerrard. Here's Hamann. Now Riese. Hamann. Liverpool is trying to string a few passes together. Gerrard's pass this time. Heskey. A complete miskick. Sheer frustration here for Emil Heskey. You'll stay with us for our Sports Centre update. Coming up at half-time. All the sports news from around the world. Stay tuned for that. Aymar scored the first goal. And it's Carew and Vicente. Still Vicente. Liverpool back on their heels again. Stoppage time begins now. This is Heskey. There's nothing there at all for Liverpool. We will have 1 minute of time added on for stoppages.
Boy, the 37-year-old Amedeo Carboni there showing none of his 37 years in terms of lack of pace or lack of ability, but all of his wisdom. A terrible dispossession for Liverpool. That was a great chance to get around the back.
Vicente again. This might be the last chance of this first half. Aymar was looking menacingly in the middle. Houpier had to get it away rather quickly. Vicente once more. And they whip it in once more. Well, Valencia really have played all the football that we've seen in the first half. Pablo Aymar with the opening goal after 20 minutes. Ruben Baraja 18 minutes later, and Liverpool haven't had much to say about this. Aymar, the man they call the Little Rabbit, finishing with aplomb. Baraja netting goal number 2, created by John Carew, the Norwegian. 2-0 to the home side. Is departing, and Bruno Cheroux is also going to come on. Just check to see who the second player going off is. And it's actually Salif Diao. Seamus Mallon?
Well, that's a peculiar decision. Certainly they do not play the same position. Cheroux is a left-sided midfielder who has aspirations to play in the centre of midfield, and of course Diao a centre-back. So you can only assume that somebody else has been moved into the back. Or they're playing with 3 at the back.
It looks as though Traore has moved into the left centre-back position.
Yeah.
John Arne Riese at left
Riese
back.
is at left back, correct. Yeah.
Cheroux for Owen, or rather Cheroux and Owen for Diouf and Diao, the 2 Senegalese internationals replaced. Will it have the desired effect for Liverpool? Only time will tell. Valencia attacking the goal to our left in the second half, after a very accomplished first half display from the home team. Goals from Aymar and Baraja. Gerrard. Heskey is now playing wide on the left. Trying to get in behind his man, Kuru Torres. Michael Owen surprisingly left out of the starting 11 by Gérard Houllier. He didn't play against Bolton on Saturday either.
He has scored only 1 goal this season, and that was on a penalty.
So Liverpool have the corner. Danny Murphy to take it. Pellegrino watching Houpier. However, it comes from Murphy. Another lacklustre effort. Valencia doing a decent job of clearing their lines. Traore. Trying to find Gerrard. Hamann, Gerrard. They haven't really worked in tandem this evening. Didi Hamann and Steven Gerrard. Always such a powerful central midfield combination. Fauri. Riese. To Jerzy Dudek. Oh, that was slack play. Houpier able to recover. Haman's there. Giroud lining up on the right-hand side for the moment. Carragher. Michael Owen makes the run. Canizares shepherds it through for the goal kick.
The early look would seem to me that Heskey has gone to play on the left side of midfield, which is where Giroud normally would be playing. So they may have finally gone back to the 4-5-1 with Owen as the lone player up front, but hoping to break some people to support him out of midfield, but more importantly, to put a stop to the dominance of the midfield of Valencia that was so enjoyable for them in that first half, showing a 65-35 possession edge.
Riese was slow to get there. Here's Pablo Aimar. Oh, what a wonderful save from Dudek. That rising shot. I think Aimar thought it was net bound at one point on its flight. This was sparkling play.
Well, he certainly takes his chance again. Players backing off him. Dudek, I think, had that one pretty well under control, but he did the safety first thing and touched it over the top.
Vicente with the Valencia corner. Pellegrino's made his way forward. Giroud's there, only half cleared. The appeal for offside, that's a dangerous game. Vicente! Well, Hamann was there to bolster the Liverpool defence. Giroud, and they quickly turn defence into attack through Michael Owen. Oh, not this time.
But it was a bit of a positive play, wasn't it? Here's Aimar with that long-range shot again. Again, it's pretty safely touched over the top by Dudek.
Five minutes almost have elapsed in the second half. Carew just a step offside.
But impressive, though, was Giroud's first ball of the match, as this one is offside, allegedly, but just barely a half a stride ahead of Houpier, who was in the central defensive position. But I liked what I saw of Giroud trying to pick out Owen and almost got him just a moment ago.
Giroud, the Frenchman. Summer signing. Two other summer signings, Zhao and Diouf, replaced right at the start of the second half. Heskey. Trying to bamboozle Kuru Torres. This is better play. John Arne Riese. Going forward with a bit of purpose. Hamann. Carragher stepping forwards. Now the shot is on here from Danny Murphy. Oh, he fired it straight at Canizares. Oh, Murphy knows he ought to have done just that little bit better. Albelda's down as we speak.
Well, so much more purpose about the Liverpool play now, getting players forward in numbers into the box, operating with raids out of midfield with more numbers. And all of a sudden now it's the home side that's looking a little bit on the back foot as Liverpool effectively now chase the game and get a little bit of a grip on it, as opposed to the first 45 minutes when they really were pretty much second rate.
Yes, it was a rather slipshod performance from Liverpool in the first half, and I'm sure on reflection Gerard Houllier will think that he should have fielded Michael Owen from the start. That was what felled Albelda.
Well, it was also a shot from Riese, who cut in from the left side. Obviously the right foot was the one required then, but that's not his favorite by any means, and he managed to still take a left-footed whack at it, which caught Albelda, and smiling now. He wasn't smiling upon impact, I'll tell you.
So repair work carried out on David Albelda, and the repairs were successful. Carew for Valencia. Seven minutes into the second half. 2-0 to the home team. Goals here by Aymar and Baraja. After a first-rate first half display. Carragher at right back. Slipping as he released the ball. Offside flag is up against Bruno Cheroux.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch Cheroux's play, Derek, because with Heskey pretty much on left side of midfield, Cheroux there drifting offside, as you can see from the replay, may have a little bit more of a creative, wandering, distributive role, and he certainly has the appetite for that, and did it so well at his previous club.
Carew. Vicente. Carragher has actually had a reasonable amount of success in that head-to-head tussle. Difficult man to pin down, Vicente. Carboni with the throw. The evergreen Italian. Dangerous one. Traore drives it out of there. Now, what could Liverpool produce here on the counter-attack? Comes to Michael Owen. Wants to attack from this type of position. Owen! Cheroux couldn't get there. But there's just that menace in the air now with Owen out there on the park.
Oh, absolutely. There's just so much more pace up front than was provided by Heskey, and Diouf were much too static, really. Although must have almost from midfield.
Now Steven Gerrard trying to thread it through for Michael Owen.
Oh, was a bit unlucky on the break then, the previous attack, because he had the pressure from his left, but I don't think he realized there was another defender coming on his right, and he was just trying to set up that right-footed shot when that defender finally closed him down. It took 3 players to catch him, and that'll hold the attacking mentality of the back four for Valencia to a limit.
Roberto Ayala. For Carew. Baraja, scorer of the second goal for Valencia.
But look at the bite now. There's so much more bite in midfield all of a sudden for Liverpool. They weren't doing this in the first half.
It's good work by Steven Gerrard. Again, Owen was free. The referee spotted the foul. Gerrard had taken the plunge. Still the situation then, 2-0 to Valencia. Pablo Aymar, Ruben Baraja after 20 and 38 minutes respectively.
Well, he gets clattered across the back of his ankles there. And big questions always about Liverpool. One of the big ones for them is, can they win with Owen and Gerrard so injury prone as they have been in the last few years?
Gerrard hobbles on, victim of that challenge from Ruben Baraja. I think this is a perfect situation for John Arne Riise. So they can power one home, and it is the Norwegian Riise all along the ground. Hamann was in there, and they have to funnel back.
Well, Riise looked a bit surprised by that ball, where it was played. I thought he may have felt he was just going to run onto it himself, because he had to change the direction of his run towards it. Well, that may have been just to deceive the defense.
Didi Hamann. Cheroux. As Carragher canters forward. For those of you in Latin America, just a reminder, we'll have the big derby match for you on Saturday from Spain. That's Barcelona against Espanyol. And then on Sunday, more Spanish League action in the form of Malaga against Valencia. Watch their game down south. And join Mike Hill and Eddie Maiton for commentary on our 2 Spanish matches. That's for those of you in Latin America only. Those of you in Australasia, of course, Scottish football coming up this weekend in the form of Rangers against Partick Thistle. That'll be our match on Saturday. 12 minutes now into the second half. Liverpool can ill afford to concede a third. Vicente. It's Hupier's header. Had to do so much hard work back there, Sami Hupia tonight. Albelda. Onwards, that time by Carboni for Valencia. Hamann. That was careless, trying to find Bruno Giroud. And Pellegrino just got drawn out of position. He's not the quickest player in the world. And Steven Gerrard wins himself a free kick. Shall we say, slap and tickle from Baraja after the foul had been committed.
Well, Baraja elbows him over and then tries to reach in a boot for good measure. Steven Gerrard, a totally transformed player in this second half.
It's a difficult climb, this, for Liverpool. Trailing 2-0. And it's Giroud doing the fouling this time. Baraja on the receiving end. Valencia happy to keep possession of the ball. Well, 2-0 here, and it's 2-0 for the home side in the other match in this section. FC Basel leads Spartak 2-0, and those of us who saw Basel beat Celtic in the final qualifying round, I suppose are not surprised. Hakan Yakin with the second goal, Swiss international, man of Turkish extraction. And they're a very useful side. I'm not saying they're going to qualify from this group, but they are entertaining.
Well, and Spartak Moscow are not an easy side to break down. Of course, it's also another story when you make that trek to Moscow to play them there, but that's a very good start, a bright start indeed for Basel. Messi with the other goal.
Moving towards the hour mark. And Liverpool get the goal that would see them claw their way back into the match. Gerrard looks a bit more purposeful in the second half, as does Didi Hamann. But have Liverpool left themselves with too much to do here? Michael Owen on to add a bit of freshness, a bit of pace. That's the free kick. Heskey getting pinned down over on the far side. It's a Liverpool free kick.
Well, he's a handful, Heskey, obviously, and they've got the foul in to stop him, but you can see the grab there on him by Kuro Torres as Heskey spun away from him. It's a good job wide, Heskey, for England as well.
It's Danny Murphy with the Liverpool free kick. Canizares under pressure, away by Giroud. Giroud, and it's Albelda. The big boot up the park. Now, it's the game here turning in favour of Liverpool. Offside. As Owen tried to beat the trap.
Wow, this was a good piece of work by Heskey, though. And now as the ball's released, is Owen off? Ooh, maybe just half a pace. He's leaning forward, the defender's leaning the other way. And it's, you know, when in doubt, give it to the attacker, they say, but not in my lifetime, it seems like. It hasn't happened yet.
Just get the impression that the tactical and personnel changes made by Gerard Houllier at the start of the second half have made Valencia take stock of the situation, and they're certainly playing a little bit more tentatively here in the second half, Seamus.
Well, there's a lot more purposefulness about the play, more commitment to attack here also. Better midfield work by Liverpool. Michael Owen is a lot more of a handful up front than Diouf was. He was rather one-dimensional, not very pacey, never looked a threat.
But Aymar has most certainly been a threat to Liverpool. Rufete slashed in and out of the game. Aymar trying to find Vidente. It moved into the centre-forward channel almost. Giroud in trouble controlling the ball. It's good cover-up play from Valencia. Rufete's there again. Wasn't a bad cross. So Camus just wide of the targets from John Carew, and that's, had it gone in, would surely have finished off Liverpool for good.
It's great work by Rufete, cutting in from left to right, and a lovely slice ball in there. This is just by a foot, maybe. But what a delicate chip on the left foot of the right-sided midfield player. Just flashing past the post. This is a real quality ball put in, and a very nice flick on by Carew, who's a big guy, but does have a lot of subtlety to his game.
Oh, and Traore made a bit of a hash of that one. Aymar. Traore did enough to thwart Pablo Aymar. Good news for Real Madrid. Raúl has netted their second at the Olympic Stadium in Rome. And Dennis Bergkamp, meanwhile, has given Arsenal the lead. That game in Group A, tight match against Borussia Dortmund, the German champions. 2-0 to Valencia here. Bit of hesitation from Jerzy Dudek. Vicente. Well, that's wonderful play. Baraja scored earlier, but not this time.
Oh, tremendous play by Vicente on the touchline there. Just the quickness of the turn and the speed away from his defender. That's just wonderful. So they've really got some great strength in the middle of the park, Valencia, which is really where so much of their success has come from, Derek, over the years. Even before Claudio Lopez left, and Mendieta was such a force there. It's still very much the heart and soul of this team. Baraja, their leading scorer last year, with 7 goals out of midfield.
Confusion. We had a second ball on the park. Not any longer. Gerrard. And sails over the head of Emil Heskey. Valencia, who failed to qualify for the Champions League last season. Of course, reached the final 2 seasons on the trot. Before that,
well, they failed to reach it thanks to the remarkable scissors kick of Rivaldo in that tremendous end-of-season game with Barcelona, which gave them 4th place and knocked Valencia into 5th. But they sure are entertaining tonight.
Giroud. Pellegrino hooking it away. Still 2-0 to Valencia. Carragher. Good play. From Danny Murphy. Giroud trying to break the shackles of Pellegrino. And the big Argentinian did indeed catch Bruno Giroud, and a yellow card from Herbert Fandel, the German referee, for Mauricio Pellegrino. Seamus?
Well, it's the first time that Pellegrino has looked to be really in extremis there, because it's been a fairly smooth ride for him. But I think Giroud is the player who's creating a lot of the problem, as he clearly had pulled away from him. And Pellegrino had, he felt no choice but to commit the professional foul. This is what Giroud has added here.
Over it comes. No panic creep into the Valencia defence. Not on this occasion. Traore. Rufete going to box him in. Hupier's up there. Free kick. Well, he felt that the decision was a bit harsh from the German referee. Herbert Fandel, who is actually, when he's not refereeing, the director of a music school in the town of Kühlburg.
Well, let's see if he's got this tune right when he blew his whistle. It was a very minor touch by Hupia, if any.
Approaching the midway point of the second half. Liverpool in desperate need of a goal here. Of course, an away defeat here at the Mestalla wouldn't be the end of the world in the context of the Champions League. A long way to go in this section, and I think both Valencia and Liverpool fancied their chances quite strongly of qualifying for the second group stage when the draw was made. But it's the manner, certainly of the first half display, that I think will be most alarming when they dissect this. back at base.
Well, and in this championship, you cannot really afford to fall down by 2 goals. Oh.
No. Danny Murphy and Michael Owen trying to link up. Free kick it is. Mista gets ready to come on. Murphy wins the free kick. Oh, and there might be a chance here. Giroud denied by Canizares. Dietmar Hamann with the first shot for Liverpool. It seemed to take the Valencia defence by surprise. And Giroud, very unfortunate, but full credit must go to Santiago Canizares.
Tremendous save by the goalkeeper. There's going to be a card here on Baraja.
Yes, it is Ruben Baraja who goes into the book, so that's the 4th caution of the night. 2 for Liverpool, Traore and Hamann. 2 for Valencia, Rufetti, and now Baraja.
2 yellow cards in the space of 3 minutes.
John Arnorisa entrusted with the corner for Liverpool, trying to curl it into the near post. Back in by Gerrard, and Giroud once again poking his boot at it. Canizares and Aimar. It really has been a joy to watch this evening, Pablo Aimar. He's been silent for long stretches, but well, that's, I suppose, the way Aimar plays. He's not going to get involved in the defensive side of the game. Giroud. But his flashes of brilliance have been truly brilliant. And forward they go again, Rufetti. As Carew buys his time, Vicente's in the middle. Aimar wants the ball, Carew off Traore. Away by Risa. Murphy. Carragher for Liverpool. Baraja. This is Albelda. Now Vicente. Haven't seen as much stylish football from Valencia in the second half, but then again, when you have a 2-goal lead, it's easy to be a bit more pragmatic. Aimar and Baraja. Superb save from Dudek. Well, Baraja really has his shooting boots on tonight.
Excellent save, though, by Dudek, and Baraja, who makes those lovely timed late runs. Beautifully picked out by Aimar.
Well, Rafa Benitez is deciding quite clearly that he no longer needs the luxury of Pablo Aimar. Substitution for Valencia. Aimar replaced by 23-year-old Mista. Aimar it was who scored the opening goal, and it really was delightful stuff.
Well, he laid it off beautifully, got it back in the end from Baraja after Albelda had played him through and finished it beautifully. But he's had, in addition to the goal, he's had some really other wonderful influence on this match. It's been a constant threat.
Vicente with the Valencia corner. Carew almost hanging in the air. Ayala. Oh, Roberto Ayala just wide of the target. Liverpool desperate to stay alive here, but it's not looking terribly good for them. Mista replacing Aimar. That was the substitution made just seconds ago.
Well, here you see the shot, and really no threat in the end. Murphy on the post, had it covered all the way.
Pellegrino's first team place under a bit of threat, not with the emergence of Marchena, but Rafa Benitez depending on experience tonight, and that was a good recovery by Traore, who made the initial mistake. Traore pushed into a central defensive position in the second half. Salif Diao played there in the first half and seemed to be chasing shadows for most of the time. Rufetti has been very effective.
Great tackle by Heskey coming back. He's working so hard to get his team back into this.
Danny Murphy. Giroud. He's mistiming his jump. Away by Ayala. Was looking for Baraja and Albelda in midfield. Just to bottle things up. Vicente. Well, if Gerard Houllier wants to roll the dice once more, he has Milan Baros on the bench. He netted twice in the 3-2 win over Bolton at the weekend. An explosive young player he is. And Murphy looking for Michael Owen. After a promising start to the second half, Seamus, we've seen not very much of Michael Owen.
And you know, that kind of a ball played in there is very often the kind of ball that Michael Owen has in the past run onto, but it was played too early and too wide for him to have any chance to get to it. And actually, one of the things that's been absent from Liverpool's game, disappointingly to me in the last 15 minutes, has been really any kind of wide overlapping threat to pull those defenses out, because right now two defenders back there can play Owen out of the game.
See there, Miguel Angel Angulo is about to enter the fray for Valencia, and I think actually that is Baros down there. Appears to be Milan Baros getting ready for Liverpool. First they have to withstand this attack. Rufetti, goal kick, and that might well be the end for Rufetti here. 16 minutes left for play. Substitution will take place. Miguel Angel Angulo is about to come on. Good outing for Rufetti.
I'm very impressed by him. I thought he's done a wonderful job wide on midfield, where so much of the success of this team comes from. Keely Gonzalez, Vicente Rufetti. He got through a nasty challenge in there from Traore. Look at Traore yellow, but then he put in a wonderful cross that Carew just flashed past the post.
So Angulo is given a run here. Uncapped Spanish midfielder.
Yeah, the player who was forced to play a striking role a lot last year, not terribly successfully, much better in the middle of the field.
Giroud, and he gets it back. Chances on here for Liverpool. Danny Murphy supporting. It's worth a shot. No, they'll settle for the corner. It came off Roberto Ayala. Ayala using his head, literally.
Well, Giroud didn't give him, Murphy didn't give him much option here, but Giroud, the one who played the ball to Murphy. Brave clearance there by Ayala, but Giroud's made a difference.
And here's Risa with the corner for Liverpool. Canizares, as is very often his custom, punching it away. Now Liverpool, I think, will make the substitution. Milan Baros is coming on, and it's Danny Murphy who's going off. Baros, a very interesting young player, still only 20, signed from Banik Ostrava. And Gerard Houllier was admitting the other day that a few members of his coaching staff thought they'd signed a bad player when he first joined the club, but I think it's quite clear he's something rather special. Well,
he was loaned back to Banik Ostrava and came back for the second look, as it were. A much changed player from the point of view of the coaching staff. They're very happy with him, and he is only 20. He's younger than Michael Owen.
Now Giroud to play into Heskey's path. He still might get there. Good work on the shot from Giroud. They had the Valencia defenders back on their heels, but it's still 2-0 to Valencia here against Liverpool on match day 1 in the Champions League. And Hamann, well, finally throwing Mista to the ground, or at least attempting to do so. And Hamann has been booked already. Well, that's a red card for Didi Hamann. The referee, Herbert Fandel, deciding to send off his compatriot. Referee exercising the letter of the law quite literally. And Mista has been cautioned as well. Seamus, could common sense have prevailed on that occasion?
I think so. I mean, yeah, they're pulling at each other and so forth, but it's a good competitive game. It's nothing really life-threatening here. There's nobody in danger of injury. They are tugging and pulling at each other for sure. But I think with 13 minutes to go, I'm not so sure the red is, it's just the second yellow is merited there.
Well, I'd rather think that is the death knell for Liverpool now. Trailing 2-0, reduced to 10 men. And of course, it means Didi Hamann will be missing for the next Champions League game.
That's right. Yep.
Well, the sting has been taken out of Liverpool. See if Valencia can capitalise through Vicente. Was enough to earn the free kick.
Heskey again, working, coming back in central defence. I would have thought that if they had still 11 players on the field, that you would have seen Barosh and Owen up front and just playing 4 across the middle. But now with only 10 players on the field, that's a little hard to do.
That was a bit wild. Dudek didn't have to worry about it in the end. For those of you watching in the Pacific Rim, just a reminder about our new Press Pass programme that you can see each and every Friday night if you're in the Sydney area, early hours of Saturday morning. For those of you in New Zealand, cast of thousands, well actually a cast of 4, JP Della Camera, Tommy Smith, Eddie Mighton and Mike Hill. You can join the quartet for top quality football discussion. That's every Friday night or Saturday morning, depending upon where you're watching.
Well, Liverpool certainly all over the shop here. It's really hard to know what kind of shape they've got left now. They've got a 10-man shape to challenge them with, and maybe too much.
Oh, Vicente getting in behind Carragher, and it could easily have been Baraja once again. Well, he really has been in top form tonight, hasn't he?
Really has. Again, a late run by Baraja. Beautiful ball played into him, but brave defending by Risa stopped the shot on goal. Angulo with the corner here.
Risa marking Mista. Angulo drives it in. Comes to Kuro Torres. Heskey back there helping out the defence. Vicente. Well, they're really hitting Liverpool from all angles now. Corner to Valencia.
Well, the irony is that Liverpool are defending around their own goal better at 2-0 down than they were at 0-0, which is tragedy of the night for them.
Vicente losing confidence. Even Barosh is forced to play a defensive role now. Ayala's up there supporting the attack. Vicente. Baraja was able to reach it. Angulo's there on the right. Wanted to get it back from Kuro Torres. Didn't quite work out for him. And they have, in fairness, taken their foot off the accelerator a bit in the second half, Valencia. Vicente with acres of space. And trying to get in low and hard. Albelda. Baraja. Slipping it through. Mista's there. And Traore was almost wrong-footed. I almost feel a bit sorry for Liverpool the way this is going.
This is not a team you want to go down a man against. They know how to play the ball to each other, find spaces. And
Vicente, that deep cross, Angulo on the volley. Well, the crowd wanted that special finish from Miguel Angel Angulo, and that would have been a goal and a half had it gone in. Now then, what we have a chance, some other scores to tell you about. Well, actually, before we do that, we'll take one more look at this last move, Seamus.
Well, again, the extra player here being very difficult to defend, and you can see Heskey just running out of gas, and look who's wide open at the far post, and makes a hash of the volley. They know exactly how to exploit the spaces now.
Okay, as promised, elsewhere it's Arsenal 2, Borussia Dortmund 0 now. Freddie Ljungberg with the second goal. Dennis Bergkamp had the first. It's surely all over in Rome. Guti with his second. Real Madrid's third. Roma 0, Real Madrid 3.
Wow, that's an impressive performance by Real Madrid. Again, can anybody beat them this year for the Champions League? Frankly, I don't think so.
Carboni on the left. Powering forward, the cross, well, left a bit to be desired. Carew did his best to keep it in play. And Valencia still being roared on. They are back in the Champions League with a bang. Carew hasn't been able to hit the target this evening. He contributed twice at the weekend in the 3-0 win over Recreativo Huelva. Uruguayan Gonzalo de los Santos is about to come on. Traore. There is de los Santos. He used to play for Peñarol in Uruguay, and it's Albelda who have the rest of the night off. We don't talk an awful lot about Albelda, but he gets through an awful lot of work, and it's because of players like Albelda and Baraja that Aimar has the platform really on which to shine.
That's right, exactly, and in many ways, that was a success also when Claudio Lopez was here a few years ago, when you had the likes of Mendieta behind him, doing all the work in midfield for them. And it's really the secret of this club, a strong defending, but really remarkable talent in the middle of the field. Very good technical players, but also tremendous sense of teamwork. As we take a look here, is that running into trouble there was Vicente.
So Gonzalo de los Santos has replaced David Albelda. And Carew accused and found guilty in the end of tangling illegally with Houpier. Who just joined us. Liverpool are down to 10 men. Didi Hamann sent off for a second bookable offence. That means he will miss the home game against FC Basel next week at Anfield. Liverpool in danger again, but offside. John Carew.
Yeah, good decision to see Carew drift away. The ball's not released yet. You can see him in an offside position. He tries to come back. Well, I don't know. Might have been very close. Very close looking there. But at 2-0 in the 85th minute, it's really rather immaterial. Very promising start by Valencia here. Liverpool showing a good deal of life and fight in the second half, but not really having much variety to their attack. Very little in the sense of wide play getting around the back four of Valencia. Was pretty much looking to see if they could spring Michael Owen. Not enough. And then the red card to Hamann undid them totally.
John Arisa just had a little accident over beside the advertising board. Houpier's gone forward to add a bit of height to the attack. The set piece, now he'll have to get back into his defensive position. Vente. Mista galloping forward. Heskey. Giroud into reverse gear to Traore. Heskey has gone to ground.
Well, I think he got sort of whacked from behind by De Los Santos after he released the ball there. Yeah, holding his calf here. That's where he got kicked, right there.
Well, he's a no-nonsense competitor, Gonzalo de los Santos, and that's perhaps being a bit polite about it. There is a cynical side to his game that has manifested itself during his career with Peñarol. Because Liverpool have no more substitutes to call upon, having used 3 already. Opening night then in the Champions League, and well, not quite as comfortable for Ajax as it was earlier. Sonny Anderson has pulled one back for Olympique Lyon in the Group D match in the second half. Don't forget, after the final whistle here, stay with us, complete roundup of all that has happened on match day 1. Just a reminder, in the other match in this section, so far so good for FC Basel. 2-0 is the score in their favour against Spartak Moscow. It'll be Valencia's opponents in Moscow next week.
Well, that's the first piece of play that we've seen really from Baros. Gets away from a lot of attention and eventually has to be bundled over at the touchline.
Oh, Heskey misjudged the flight of that ball. Kuro Torres is nodding it nonchalantly back to the goalkeeper, Canizares.
Baros got 2 spectacular goals against Bolton. Really a tremendous shot from outside and then a terrific volley to give them a 2-1 lead.
Vicente. Some wee pretty patterns against Carragher. Baraja. He might be getting a few votes in the man of the match stakes after this.
Absolutely, got that cracking goal, Derek, and he also was the killer ball provider to Aymar for the opening goal in the 19th minute.
Baros. Well, Santos was trying to close him down. Here's Giroud. But it's awfully hard here for Liverpool, down to 10 men. Difficult to find the space necessary to trouble the Valencia defenders. Vicente. I think Kili Gonzalez is going to have a very difficult time winning his place back, quite frankly. Kuro Torres never afraid to go forward. Now Carew with a header. Well, that would have been the icing on the cake. Carew, the big man who almost, it was reported, joined Fulham back in January. It didn't quite work out. Just a reminder, if you're in Latin America, your answer to press pass is Fuera de Fuego. You can join the team headed by Luis Tapia for the discussion in Spanish. That's every week. And now here at the Mestalla Stadium, the 90 minutes have come and gone.
Well, I said earlier that they conceded no goals to Manchester United, Arsenal, or Leeds. And here they are at the moment with a clean sheet against Liverpool. They certainly know how to play at home.
Really is a formidable home record in the Champions League. It'll be 13 wins out of 17 now, 4 draws, no defeats, 11 clean sheets. Mista did well to stay on his feet. And Dudek's there to field it just ahead of John Carew. This is a game that really has been over since the red card shown to Didi Hamann. Hope you'll stay with us here on ESPN after the final whistle. An awful lot to talk about, all the scores to update as we reflect on this matchday 1 Tuesday here on ESPN. So please remain with us after the final whistle. Of course, many of you will have the Rosenborg Inter match to contemplate later tonight here on ESPN. It really is a busy Tuesday. Oh, look at this. Appeals for a penalty. The referee wasn't impressed as Michael Owen went on one of his mazy runs, going to ground. No penalty given.
Well, ironically, he dodged to avoid the challenge by Kuro Torres and then lost his balance. I don't think Kuro Torres touched him. Let's take a look here. I don't think he really touched him. Might have just gotten his thigh a bit. Does he touch him on the thigh there? Ooh, yeah, he does. I'm thinking that might very well have been a penalty there.
It might have been a decent shout anyway, and Owen was convinced that there was a bit of contact, but no penalty given. I'm not sure it really would have had any effect on the overall outcome of this game, what with Liverpool down to 10 men. And it would have given them a little bit of hope going into the game against Basel next week at Anfield. We've had 2 minutes of stoppage time, 1 more minute left, and Valencia, well, they deserve all the honours that are going tonight, based on the way they played in the first half. Yes, it's not been as spectacular, it's not been as silky in the second half. Although Liverpool have really been under the cosh in the last 15 minutes or so, down to 10 men. And Valencia grab a third before it's all over. Carew might well do. Oh, denied by Dudek. And Carew wanted it badly.
Well, tiring players at the back there, no question, for Liverpool. But that's another wonderful little ball from Baraja. Turned inside to the left foot, and then he tries to slide it home with the right foot. Dudek deserves a lot of credit here. He must have not, he seems to know exactly what was coming next from Carew.
Vivente's corner. And maybe one last opportunity. Well, the Liverpool players well beaten here at the Mestalla by a superior Valencia side on the night. They've really got off to the perfect start, took the game by the scruff of the neck. Pablo Aimar opened the scoring with a sparkling goal in the 20th minute, and when Ruben Baraja made it 2-0 7 minutes from half-time, it was hard to see a way back for the Anfield side. And then when Didi Hamann was ordered off near the end, it truly was curtains. Pablo Aimar, one of the stars of the show. He really put on a clinic in the early stages. This was a goal right out of the top drawer.
Well, they took advantage, didn't they, really, the chances that were given to them, but they dominated the first half, punished Liverpool for their lethargic display, and Liverpool could never really get back into it in the second half. Yeah, they huffed and puffed and did some better things, but these long-range strikes and close-in free passing that Valencia brought to the game was the telling difference.
3 points then for Valencia. On match day 1, they've defeated Liverpool by 2-0.